I wonder if you could share some of your personal disciplines, both as an individual person who has, got to be as creative as the next person, and also someone who leads teams of very creative people, the personal disciplines and habits of mind that have been really effective for you when it comes to being awake, seeing with fresh eyes.
I'd say something that I totally honor is being what I call the child of wonder. In that I am a constant learner. I will, read a book or read about a theory, and some word will strike me, and I'll deep dive and say, I want to understand more about that, or how is that, made, or what's that subject, what is the theory of color, and then I'll go study, color theory, or so I treat myself to a constant, I give so much out that I think it's really important, and I'm a better leader if I constantly refill myself. And so everything from, I remember being a child, children are like sponges. And I remember my dad was terrific. He was a creative person also, but he would see, I would have a natural inclination. He was not a stage mother or a stage dad. He didn't impose anything on me. But if I picked up a crayon or a watercolor, the next day I'd have a box of 125 crayons at my doorstep. So I do that for myself. So if I read even a quote or something, or see something in a museum that profoundly affects me, I treat myself to, buying that book, going deeper, finding that person, taking a weekend workshop with them. I mean, just when my mind expresses interest in something, I am insatiable about wanting to kind of feed myself. And essentially, creativity to me is you have to be out in the world taking new information in, new inspiration. Because without that, it's just like we never ask a computer for output till we give it input. Yet, companies just keep asking their people for quicker, faster, cheaper, better ideas, and never give them the gift of allowing new information to come in. People feel guilty if they, read a magazine, go to an art show, go out, in the world and hit the streets. But it's actually taking information in, because our conscious mind only holds 10% of the information. The other 90% of what we've taken in is in the unconscious. And I think when you are then exploring ideas, you're actually utilizing, when you're in this free state, you're actually drawing on that 90% of information that you've taken in. So ironically, when you are get those aha moments of genius, it's really because you've tapped into your unconscious, not your conscious. So to me, the question is, how do you create the conditions under which people can tap into really where the bulk of the information is stored, which is in our unconscious. And when you're in a typical work day, a typical work situation, we are just totally using our conscious minds, the material that's in front of us, and we're not drawing on any of the wisdom that comes from everything we read, everything we know, and that's where creativity actually comes from. Because I always look to hire people that have a lot of interests outside beyond what their job title is, because I think even someone that goes shark diving or fishing, I mean, who might be a marketer or a designer, if you're involved in other processes, then again, unconsciously, you're learning things as you go through that action of shark fishing, because you are learning new processes. And the idea is that, as you said earlier, sometimes there's nothing new. It's just about this divergent and convergent thinking and taking things that you, or processes you did in a whole different subject and applying it to the task at hand. So I think it's really important, and I look for that in terms of hiring people that have other interests or go deep into things they're passionate about. And I just am very conscious of feeding my passion. And like a little child, when I have a spark of interest, I am insatiable about, I want to learn more, I want to understand more.